What is up, Cobra Kai fans? Welcome back to a throwback Cobra Kai Season 6 Part 2 related video. One of the most important plot points from Part 1 that was really fleshed out over the course of just 5 episodes was the secrets about Mr. Miyagi's past. And we learned some pretty shocking things that we never knew about Mr. Miyagi. We learned that he stole some valuable necklace and beat up some guy pretty badly over it. We even learned that the name Keisuke Miyagi, the name that he went under in The Next Karate Kid, was an alias that he used to hide his identity from something. We also learned that he had some sort of stake in a boxing gym with his friend, but probably the most important secret that was uncovered by Daniel, Chozen, and Amanda from that box of secrets that he had hidden in his house was that Mr. Miyagi fought in the SEKAI TAIKAI at one point. And this was honestly something that myself and pretty much the entire fandom did not see coming. But now that begs the big important question: why did Mr. Miyagi fight in the SEKAI TAIKAI and what exactly happened? I myself have had a long time to really ponder over this and really try and think through why this happened, and I think I have a pretty plausible theory on why this all took place. A lot of people in the fandom are really not a fan of them digging into Mr. Miyagi's backstory because they think it could potentially harm his character and just the way they overall view him from the Karate Kid movies and into the Cobra Kai series. But I think this is all painting a very important picture that actually is going to elevate his character rather than diminish it. Cobra Kai is a show based on gray areas, whereas the Karate Kid movies, like pretty much every traditional 80s franchise, they portrayed their storytelling as white and black. White the good guys, black the bad guys. But in Cobra Kai, they introduced a whole new way of storytelling that's been used in a lot of modern media with the gray character. Not everyone is perfect, and pretty much everyone has both light and dark inside of them. This was put on display right from the get-go with Daniel and Johnny. Daniel was the original, pretty much quote-unquote bad guy in the Karate Kid movies, and now he's the lead protagonist in Cobra Kai. And despite many of Johnny's negative traits as introduced in the Cobra Kai series, he definitely does have a lot of redeeming qualities as well, just like Daniel. They painted Daniel in a light that doesn't make him the clear-cut good guy. Yes, he's the hero of the Karate Kid franchise, but he did do some valid but questionable things in Season 1. No one's all good and no one's all bad. It's just a matter of perspective from the story. And I really think that's what they're setting up with Mr. Miyagi. Mr. Miyagi, like Daniel, Johnny, all of the characters, yourself and me, we all have one thing in common, and that is we're all human. We've all done a lot of good in our lives, and we've all done a certain amount of bad as well. And during Mr. Miyagi's younger years, they're definitely painting him in a light that he had a pretty troubled past when he first came to America. And they're definitely not trying to tarnish his legacy and tarnish him as a character. They're just trying to portray him that he's human. And back in the day, I definitely think that Mr. Miyagi had a really reckless past, not just the things that we saw in the box. I definitely think there might even be more to what he did back then. And this Mr. Miyagi is a whole lot different than the Mr. Miyagi that we see in the Karate Kid movies. Not just because of the crimes that he committed, but he entered the SEKAI TAIKAI, the global tournament of karate. And we know this pretty much from the get-go in the first Karate Kid movie. Mr. Miyagi is not a fan of tournaments whatsoever. So I can get why some fans feel that it's out of character for Miyagi to enter and to compete in the SEKAI TAIKAI, but Mr. Miyagi was definitely a different person back then, there's no question about that. But I think Miyagi competing into the SEKAI TAIKAI is really what formed him and shaped him into the Mr. Miyagi that we know and love from the Karate Kid movies. Back in those younger years when he was committing these crimes, Mr. Miyagi was already a karate master. He was taught by his father, so he already knew pretty much everything that he knew from the Karate Kid movies. And he probably thought that he was unstoppable and on top of the world in terms of fighting ability. So he probably figured why not test his luck to earn some real cash and just overall opportunities by entering into the world tournament. And I think once he did and finally did compete, I think Mr. Miyagi got beat pretty bad, and that would certainly explain the blood on his SEKAI TAIKAI captain headband. Not really too sure if Mr. Miyagi was tied to a specific dojo or anything, or if he just entered it solo like Daniel did in '84 for the All Valley tournament, but I strongly believe that Mr. Miyagi, when he actually went to the SEKAI TAIKAI, I think he was really humbled, and he probably took a bad beating that maybe even almost took his life, unfortunately. And that may have been a real eye-opener for him, and how he truly made the shift to the wise Master Yoda-esque character that we know and love. And that would really explain why he doesn't really like tournaments that much, because he probably almost died in one. Now that's the most plausible explanation on why I think Mr. Miyagi entered into the SEKAI TAIKAI. Now if I wanted to take this even a step further, one could say that perhaps Master Kim Sun Young was the one who gave Mr. Miyagi this beating in the SEKAI TAIKAI that that almost took his life. That's certainly not off the table either, but I'm honestly kind of 50-50 on it. I definitely think it would shrink the universe quite a bit, and it may just be a little bit, I don't know, too convenient, but it would certainly expand the rivalry between Mr. Miyagi and the Cobra Kai style dating all the way back. But like I said, I'm just about 50-50 on Kim Sun-young being the one that Mr. Miyagi fought in the SEKAI TAIKAI. But like I said, I strongly believe in my theory that the SEKAI TAIKAI was really the turning point into Mr. Miyagi's life and how he really started to become the caring, wise, and gentle maintenance man that we've known to love from the Karate Kid trilogy. But guys, that's all I gotta say on the subject. Be sure to let me know down below in the comment section whether you agree or disagree with any of the points I raised for this theory on why Mr. Miyagi entered into the SEKAI TAIKAI and competed. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you got something out of today, and if you didn't, change it to a dislike. Any feedback greatly helps out my channel with the YouTube algorithm. Make sure that you're a subscriber to my channel if you want to stay up to date with everything when it comes to Cobra Kai Season 6. I have plenty more videos in the pipeline that you're not going to want to miss. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. No mercy.